Hello everyone. There are relatively few news in the UFO UAP space other than the recently released trailer of the Disclosure Day movie by Steven Spielberg coming in June, which you can watch via the link in the comments, so I decided to continue the deep dive series regarding the mysterious website called Forgotten Languages. There will be a New Year's special video concerning extraterrestrial life, so stay tuned for this one. We left the series in the latter half of 2013 in the last video, and this is where we pick up too. The next article features a reference to the Doors music band in its title, which says Geometric Shapes and Emotional States, Cassini Diskus and its Cognitive Significance, Autism Barrier, Breaking on Through to the Other Side. Those who watched the previous episodes may remember the mysterious Cassini Diskus posts from the website I have mentioned before. They feature images with cryptic symbols and patterns which seem to be some form of communication, while the diskus itself seems to be some sort of an encryption and decryption machine. Let's see what the English parts of the article say.
Electromagnetic vibrations of sound and light create positive healing changes in humans. When certain frequencies are reached and sustained, the brain produces hormones such as serotonin and melatonin, which in turn affect emotions.
At the first glance, this has nothing to do with the main topic we are discussing here, the UFOs. However, it may have something to do with the Cassini Diskus system itself. The clue, or at least a clue, is hiding in the picture presented on the website. It eerily resembles the iris of a human eye, at least to me, with the caption saying Cassini Diskus excited at 27 Hz. As we will see later on, the resemblance to the eye makes sense. There are also other images related to the diskus excited at other frequencies, producing kaleidoscope-like patterns. This theme is explored further in the next section.
Entrain means synchronization, when a periodic frequency stimulus such as oral, as in the case of binaural beats or else visual, as with a dream machine or electromagnetic radiation, and aims to cause brainwave frequencies to fall into step with the exciting stimulus, having a frequency corresponding to the intended delta, theta, alpha, or beta brainwave state. Brainwave entrainment depends upon a frequency-following response, where the human brain has a natural tendency to change its dominant EEG frequency to correspond with the frequency of a dominant external stimulus.
There is a mention of brain entrainment, or its tuning to various brain waves of specific frequencies. We have mentioned Bob Monroe and the hemisync technique developed by him and his associates in the series. This technique uses sound to produce certain brain waves or states, some of which are said to promote states similar to extrasensory perception and the famous out-of-the-body experiences, which may be a new avenue for communication as well, perhaps with non-human intelligences.
Persinger's research uses contemporary brain analysis technology, e.g., fMRI, positron emission tomography, PET, and single-photon emission tomography, SPT, to determine if spiritual experiences may result from a hallucinogenic neurochemical release from the pineal organ. Persinger, Hill, 2003. Persinger's reports analyzed cerebral blood flow during glossolalia, 1984, transcendental meditation, 1993, meditative prayer ran Buddhist meditation, 2003, to determine if spiritual activities may have been responsible for altered states of consciousness.
Once again, there has been research done on various states of the brain and its functioning, which are deviated from the everyday logical thinking and perception. Such states are now brought on the subject of the drawing board of researchers, for example, exploring long-term exposure to the chemical substance called DMT, which occurs naturally in our pineal gland and, according to those using it for spiritual exploration, may be another such avenue of contact with the unknown, possibly even with sentiences which normally remain outside our perception. The next parts are perhaps slightly less interesting but may still be related to human experience, perception, and the topics we have already mentioned, so let's quote them here for the sake of completion.
The pedagogical exercises in eurythmy begin by forming the body into straight lines and curves and proceed through successively more complicated geometric forms to develop coordination and concentration. Eurythmy has been used successfully to improve the attention and learning capacities of school children, especially within the Waldorf teaching curriculum, also initiated by Steiner in 1919. The viewer is asked to remain attentive to the sounds and the visuals, but to let their mind drift and wander as much as possible without direction. Idis suggested that the viewer remains in a comfortable sitting position and allows the colors and patterns take them wherever they go. We do create environments that substantially alter the neurological structure of the brains of individuals. Giselian number 2214.
6 days later, on 13th of September, we have a more direct and strong reference to the topic of UFOs, with an article titled Engineered Perception, Sensstatics and Invasive Communication, the Colares Incident. The Colares Incident is one of the prime examples of alleged human-alien contact which took place in Brazil. I have talked about in more detail in another video, should you wish to learn more. The link to said video is available in the card in the corner now, or in the links below. Let's see what English snippets we have published this time. To put it briefly here, there was a wave of UFO sightings in the northeast of Brazil, in the town of Colares, where the local residents reported being chased by mysterious lights, objects. Some people ended up being wounded and having their blood extracted in what resembled vampire bites. There is plenty of evidence available on the case, from medical reports through press and an extensive study carried out at the time by the Brazilian military.
Sensory modalities are connected perceptually. What we see affects what we hear, what we smell affects what we taste, and so on. This has a direct impact on the perceptual choices we make in our day-to-day lives. When one sense is muted, such as closing the eyes, other senses are prioritized. When the entire process of communication is muted, what is prioritized? Successful illusions balance the correspondences between the senses, allowing only the optimum time of exposure until the brain catches up to the situation at hand. The dynamic balance between the modalities, by carefully choreographing the intensity of the connections, as determined by design intention, might be a key to a successful sensory environment. It can allow us to optimally design environments according to the design intent, be it for healing or relaxation, engagement or excitement, or simply non-intrusive functioning of daily life.
All those mentions hint to what the subject says: engineered perception, a tale as old as the reports of encounters with UFOs and their occupants. Experiencers all over the globe report effects from altered time perception through sleep paralysis, out-of-body experience, changes to vision, smell, touch, and so on. And the examples are as many as there are reports of contact with non-human entities. Obviously, in such encounters there is always an internal component, that of the experiencer themselves, and an external one, that of the met entities. The entire experience often seems unreal, almost illusory on some levels, while it is at the same time hyperreal on other levels. This is more or less summed up in the last two passages of the text. Let's quote on one of them here.
Our worlds are shaped by our individual interactions with what we perceive, and what we choose to perceive or attend to. There is no homogeneous experience across human beings that can be captured and frozen in time. But in the usage of the term frozen time, we can appreciate that our senses are fused together and are never completely separable. At the same time, only a look at their separate, but relational, identities can help us to create a dynamic whole.
Once again, we brushed against the heavy topic. While craft and alien beings are relatively easy to discuss, consider, possibly measure and observe, subjective experiences, perception changes and altered states resulting from contact with said crafts and beings are a realm of its own. Many people reject such notions as they are often at the edge of that which is considered paranormal. And yet such experiences are a part of the phenomenon we know as a UFO at large, and as we will see later in this series, we are going to encounter even far weirder territories in the exploration. What do you make of the topics discussed today and in the series, dear viewers? Let me know in the comment section down below. The next video will be a brief excursion back to the roots of the channel, as we are going to take a look at our nearest possible habitats for human and alien life, and in the new year we are also going to return to forgotten languages. I hope everyone has an enjoyable holiday season. Stay warm, stay tuned, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you soon in another video. Take care.